politics. Look, since the last election, we know that tens of thousands of New Mexicans and millions of Americans have gotten re-engaged in politics because they're scared of what they've seen happens when we sit on the sidelines or stay at home. We need with all that's going on today, we need a new leader in Washington, a new brand of leader in Washington. And one thing we've learned is that who we elect now matters more than ever. Some of you know already that 6 years ago, I started Progress Now New Mexico. I traded in my law enforcement and legal jobs to build an organization to give New Mexicans who felt like the system wasn't working for them a new way to communicate with elected officials from the local level all the way to Congress. What we learned in that process was true then and it's true today, that saying no is an important first step, but it's not the only step to making change. And so we got busy. We organized for marriage equality, for gun violence prevention legislation, to protect clean air and water that had been handed down to us from generations. And I even worked to organize, we fought and won at the ballot box to protect access to Planned Parenthood and women's health care right here in our own community. Through those campaigns, one thing we learned was that having the right people in office when these fights come to us matters as much as anything else. And so we all got busy, and I led initiatives and new programs to recruit, train, and support candidates for office who believe, like I do, the change starts from the bottom up and doesn't come from the top down. And we've been implementing that all across New Mexico to make New Mexico work better for working families who've been left farther and farther behind. I even took a little of my own advice and joined the Albuquerque City Council a few years ago. And I'm really honored that when our immigrant community felt threatened by what was coming out of Washington and the new administration, they came to me and others and asked, and we worked together to write, co-sponsor, and pass the city's new immigrant-friendly city resolution. And I'm really proud that for more than a year we've been working to build Albuquerque's first renewable energy portfolio standard or renewable energy standard. And that's already being implemented to put local clean energy workers to work here in Albuquerque and putting us on the top of a good list as a national solar leader. But finally, let me add, as a former police officer, I cannot and I will not stand by as this administration tries to roll back all the reforms we've made, reforming the war on drugs and putting community policing back at the center of law enforcement in cities around the country, including what we've been doing here in Albuquerque. We need a new brand of leader in Washington. And where I come from, when there's a new fight to be had or work to be done, you don't want to be caught standing on the sidelines. I'm running for Congress because the fights we've been leading here are the fights we need leaders to lead in Washington for us back here in New Mexico. I'm ready to take on this challenge and to lead that fight. So I know y'all are busy and y'all came down today, so I appreciate you coming. And we got a few minutes, we can take questions if you want, if that's easier.